Hello, take your time to browse the things I have for sale. Tegan once requested to host one of our iconic tea parties on a train. Sadly, I couldn't allow that, but imagine the atmosphere. That's the best place for tea, aboard the train. Anything is better on a train, actually, except snakes. I've got something I can share. Blot randomly can be seen carrying that inky little sculpture he calls Junior. Not sure if he truly has any attachment to the little art project of his, but I keep seeing him recreate the thing. Honestly, a bit odd to me. Between you and me, I think Cosmo's baking is better compared to Sprat's baking. Which is shocking, because I believe Cosmo has burnt more batches of baked goods. But oh, when that sweet food isn't burnt, it's delectable. I can't even fathom how anyone can pass by Gigi's room and not be concerned. I swear, every time I pass by that room, she just has more things. How many things can one have? How many collections warrant such? Honestly, I'm not sure why we keep Shrimpo around. I've had intrusive thoughts of just taking him on a train ride one day. And that would be his last stop ever. Oh well. You know, if you really think about it, a bubble called Poppy is a bit morbid. Maybe it's just me. I've been looking through some old records at some point, letters and files and whatnot. You wouldn't believe how many letters I found of Shelley's. She'd go on and on writing to the founders of Gardenview, many writings of dinosaurs specifically. I swear, there was possibly 5 bins worth of letters. I hope you're aware any earnings I receive from purchases go right back to Dandicus. I work alongside him, we're associates in a way. No, I'm not allowed to take tips. I can't help but feel a little bad for Toodles. The poor girl doesn't exactly have friends her age. Unless we count that kid she plays with around Halloween, though I wouldn't count such. Those holiday-themed tunes barely show around when it isn't a season. You know what? I'll admit something. I'm concerned for Glisten, the amount of times I've seen that mirror bump into things. Well, it's concerning to say the least. I asked him if he was clumsy perchance. He of course went on in that tone he uses. No. I'm Glisten, I'm perfect, not clumsy. I can see through that. I've got some time to chat. You know Vashro, that tune is always sleeping around in the oddest of places. Once I found him even sleeping on one of many trains here in Gardenview. I'm unsure how long he'd been there if I hadn't woke him. Don't tell anyone else, but sometimes I leave candy for Yota out by the trains. Just a little handful, but it's always gone by the time I return. I can appreciate someone like Tisha. She's actually very punctual. That is, unless she is cleaning, and well, she cleans very often. Maybe she isn't all that punctual when you think on that fact. Here's a little something to know about me. I don't like physical contact. I'd rather people ask before they go and hug me and whatnot. You know who loves to hug? Goob. I honestly don't have the energy to deal with his energy sometimes. Boxton's been up late at night recently. Tells me he can't sleep when I ask him of it. I wonder if a music box ever needs his own music box to sleep. What an idea. You know, Finn isn't terrible company. I'd argue I enjoy his company. I allow him to ramble on about his aquatic interests, and in return, I get to go on about my train interest. It's the perfect trade-off. Scraps once asked me if I preferred dogs or cats. I answered cats, as otherwise I feel it would have been very awkward. But between us, I don't particularly like either. I prefer ponies. Danica said to believe me when I tell him, but I swear, Connie is watching me invisibly at times. I'm told I may be simply paranoid, but I don't believe so. You know, I was never one for V's game show. And I'm not just saying that based on all the riveting stories Danicus tells me about her. He definitely does not enjoy her company. You know, the circus bench or whatever they call themselves? I wonder if such an unlikely group would be friends if it weren't for the fact that they work together. Honestly, I don't even know if I consider anyone here even a friend. I consider everyone more of a coworker, associate. I don't have the luxury of friends. Russia once approached me and asked if she could paint me. I declined. There is no way I have time to sit for hours and hold a pose. I may be Dyle timely, but I'd rather not waste that much time. I often actually chat with Sprout, seeing as I supply fresh food here. There's a train that leads outside of Garden View itself. I'm sure supplies end up here. Of course, no other tune is allowed on the specific train. You would imagine the things I had to do to ensure we get a few luxuries. Have you heard of this book club some teens are attending? You have to be invited to such. How exclusive. It's a shame I'm far too busy to attend even if I wanted to. Garden View depends on me to keep things running well. Oh, let me tell you about Flutter. She is lovely truly, but I can't help but wonder how far she could truly fly. Think about it. She can fly for so long, but how high could she reach? Could she perhaps pass the clouds? I can only wonder. Have you seen the twin masks, Razzle and Dazzle? Children used to get their names mixed up, but I've heard they both really enjoy their names. Can't say I hate my own. Dyle, it really suits me. This may sound a bit silly to you, but Dyle Timesley is in fact my full name. I sometimes like to do my own small record-keeping investigations. I'm told I'm not allowed to be speaking with Roger. Time to spare? Well, I've got something I can share. And I'll tell you one thing for certain. That pet rock Dandicus has is fascinating. He recognizes all sorts of commands, though he doesn't just do them for anyone. I've seen him only do certain actions and tricks for tunes he prefers. Mostly tricks to cheer up Dandicus from what I've observed. Hey you guys! That's the end of this voiceover. And as you could probably tell now, I actually sound more awake and not tired as heck from the work in progress video. Well, that's because I'm actually recording this audio at like almost 10 p.m. for me. So that's good, to say the least. Oh, and also, I'm planning on making a saying things as Dyle video, so what you could do is leave whatever you want me to say as Dyle in the comments, and I'll mention it in the next video, which I'll make. Yeah. That's all of it. Anyways, I'm done for now, so see you around.